Hey, welcome to the Uncomfortable is Okay podcast. I'm your host, Chris Desmond. This is a show where we make it easier for you to get out of your comfort zones so you can find your magic. Today, what I wanted to talk about is something that a lot of people find uncomfortable, and that is rate of improvement when you're starting something new. So hopefully everyone that is listening knows that when you start out with something new, you're going to be a little bit shit when you start off first up. And that's given. I mean, everyone has a certain amount of natural talent. So sometimes some of the things that you do are going to be better than some of the other things that you do when you start out, just because your innate genetic potential with this. But for the most part, you're going to be pretty shitty when you first kick off with things. And then what usually happens with people is that you see a reasonable amount of improvement to start with as you start to figure things out. So you jump up a level or a step reasonably quickly as you find things out. Then often what happens is people run into a bit of a wall. So you hit a barrier, you hit some stuff that is quite hard, and this is where things start to get uncomfortable, because your rate of improvement slows or sometimes even stops, and sometimes it'll go backwards a little bit, which is all perfectly normal. It's perfectly natural. But what we want to see, or what we expect to and hope to see, is a nice linear improvement from our starting point all the way up through to our end point in just this nice straight line of improvement. But life, unfortunately, doesn't work like that. What happens is you'll go up a little bit to start with, potentially quite a lot as you learn initially, and you'll really you'll ramp up. So you'll think, sweet, this is good, this looks great. I'm on a massively rapid trajectory to get to my end goal, to my end game, to what it is that I want to achieve with this process. But you hit some roadblocks, you hit some hard stuff, you just get past those initial easy wins, and that's when it starts to really get uncomfortable, is when you stop making that progress. And that's where a lot of people give up, and a lot of people just walk away from whatever it is that they're working on, because they think, I'm maxed out, I've tapped out my potential in this, because I've got better, now I've stopped getting better, or I'm really slowing down at getting better, or I'm actually getting worse. And that motivation to continue on when you're not seeing the improvement that you want to see is really, really challenging. It's quite confronting, it's very uncomfortable. And that's when you apply a lot of the strategies that we've talked about on this podcast beforehand, and that our awesome guests give us every week, to say, this is uncomfortable, but I need to keep going. I need to understand my why. I need to use a mantra. I need to run through a fear-setting exercise. But the purpose of this podcast today, I just want to say that actually those points in the process are really, really normal. No one has a nice linear journey in terms of improvement. So you'll improve a bit, you'll hit a plateau, you'll improve a bit more, you'll hit another plateau, you'll improve a little bit more, you'll stop, you'll go backwards. So things bounce up and down in terms of general improvement. And that can be for a variety of reasons. It can be other stuff going on in your life. I mean, you might be sick, you might be stressed out, you might have other focuses that you're working on at that time, or actually you might have just got to a point where the stuff that you're doing is actually it's hard. This is a hard thing that you need to get through and you need to keep going through. But it's normal as part of the process. So don't freak out about it. Just keep slowly working through. Get your head down. And what you'll see is that you'll start to improve again, and you'll start to hit another upswing. So that progression, that bouncing around line, actually, when you average it out, that trajectory is a nice, slow, linear improvement. But it is trusting in that process at that time and understanding that lack of progress or almost regression is normal as well. And not freaking out too much about that. So hopefully that's been helpful for you, especially for people that are a little bit stuck in the process at the moment or feel that they may be going backwards. It's normal. It's okay. Uncomfortable is okay in this instance. Just want to give you guys a quick heads up as well. So I ran a workshop called Surmount back in October. I really enjoyed it. It was really cool. We got a couple of people identifying strategically challenges that they wanted to take on, then mapping out the process of how to go about doing that, and then being able to put that into action. I had so much fun with it that I'm going to run it here in Wellington again on the 26th of January. So this will be great for people who are around, who really want to kick off 2019 with a challenge, and especially those people that have you set your New Year's resolutions and a couple of weeks in, they've all kind of fallen by the wayside. This is a little bit more of a robust process about strategically identifying an area for you to get uncomfortable, understanding why it is that you want to do it, setting out a process around planning how to do it, but also identifying the obstacles that are going to come up for you, and then taking that away, putting the plan into action with that. So if you're interested, hit me up on social media, or what you can do is you can jump across to surmountcourse.com, SURMOUNT course.com. There are early bird tickets and then there's regular price tickets. The early bird tickets run up until the end of 2018. So jump in, get one for yourself, get one for your mate that you know needs something like this as a nice Christmas present. Or if you have any questions about it, flick me a message. Always love to chat. And remember, trust in the process. There's no such thing as linear improvement. And thank you so much for getting uncomfortable with me today.